from the South, neither do I know what chow chow is. When I think about chow chow, all I think is I'm chowing something down my throat. Okay, so I ate this relish and I found out that it's called chow chow. So I'm here today with Phyllis Haynes of Mariah's Relish. You just got to hear her story because she's going to be one of our 6 panelists that will be at the Courage to Elevate seminar on May 4th. So thank you for joining us today, Phyllis.
Steph, it's my pleasure. I love talking about chow chow.
I know, because the first time I heard about chow chow, I'm like, chow chow, I called it relish, you know. And when I heard your story, when I saw you at one of these business networking events, and you were telling us a story about chow chow, and I'm like, oh, really? You call this chow chow? I call this relish, you know. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about chow chow. How did that come about?
Yeah. Chow chow is nothing new. It's been around since the 1800s. People have and cultures have been doing this for a while, and it simply means chopped vegetables.
Ah,
yes.
Okay,
yes.
All right. So is that the Southern lingo for it?
Yes, we grew up with chow chow. It's something that you make at the end of the summer when the garden is complete, but you have leftover vegetables, and you don't want to throw them away. I mean, waste was not something that was done.
Absolutely.
And the recipe was created to make use of the leftover vegetables, and there are many varieties. Many.
Right,
yes.
right. So what do you put in here? I mean, the primary ingredients in chow chow.
This particular recipe, my family's, is green tomatoes and onions. Those are the bulk of the recipe. Then we have green and red peppers, onions and cabbage, spices and vinegar. Yeah.
So maybe you can tell me that story of how Mariah's Relish came to production.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. It was in 2002. My cousin and I were having our Thanksgiving dinner together, and after we had eaten our meal, the women were at the table, primarily.
Always the women at the table.
We didn't go to the football game.
No.
So we were sitting around and we just started talking about the foods we ate and the best cooks. And we were talking to daughters and nieces, and so they were very intrigued about how maybe an Aunt Glennie made the best homemade ice cream or something like that. And it just light bulb, like, wow, maybe we should do a cookbook.
Aha moment.
Let's do a cookbook.
Right.
And that was the concept.
Wow.
My husband and I have a vegetable garden every year, and of course, being in Connecticut, we had green tomatoes left over.
Wow.
So I got the recipe, I made the chow chow, and I gave it out for presents during the holiday. And family members were excited because they had not had it in a while. You know, Mama used to make it or someone, but it was kind of reintroducing it to the family.
Right.
My husband took jars to his co-workers, and from that, it's history.
Awesome. Isn't it awesome, folks, like how, you know, little family recipes, you know, if thought out well, it becomes a business. It comes in a form of a jar that then goes into the shelves, you know, in stores. And, you know, I can't tell you enough, when you know, I got this relish, chow chow relish from Phyllis.
Be Pacific, that's
I
right.
know. And I actually tried it. I got to tell you, I've not had anything better than this relish or chow chow because it is so fresh. I don't think you have preservatives.
Absolutely.
In it.
No
there
preservatives.
You go. No preservatives.
No additives, no coloring. We use fresh vegetables and the finest of spices.
Oh my God. But you know what? As a small business owner, I know how hard it can be when you take your idea from here down to paper and then into a jar, and then you have to decide the packaging. You have to decide what kind of packaging you want. And I think I remember you saying this is a hot seal.
Yes, it is.
Hot seal versus cold seal. I mean, folks, that's a lot of stuff. But here's what I think, you know, many of us, like Phyllis and your family, you know, talking about how can we put family recipes, you know, onto paper and then brainstorm it with people who can help you take ideas, from the conception of ideas into this, and then it goes to the stores, right? So I'm really excited to actually have you come, join us at Courage to Elevate seminar on May 4th, and we're really looking forward, because I am sure many of you out there who are just like Phyllis and her family, have great family recipes that you want to share with the world, right? So maybe you can get a little bit more tips with her, where you're in the room with this woman. It will spark. She's a really beautiful young lady. So, she's got great tips for you. I mean, you just need to be there and meet her. And tell me about, I love their motto in a way. It says, it's not just a relish, it's a relationship. It truly is, isn't it?
It really is. Just this past weekend, I was at an event, and I met so many women who had chow chow made in their family by someone dear to them, a mother or a grandmother or aunt. And by migrating to the north, they were not getting the chow chow. Aww. So when they saw chow chow, it was just an immediate connection. They say, oh my goodness, my grandmother used to make this. And then they'll taste it and say, oh, it's just like my grandmother's, and so they get excited. And
because it feels so homemade. It's fresh.
Absolutely.
That was really my first experience with it. When I tasted the jar that you gave me, I was like, my husband was like, oh my God, I can just chow this down. And I was like, yeah, because I've not had a relish that didn't have too much vinegar, or the taste of preservative. And this is really awesome. I have to tell you, this is a great job. Well done.
Thank you.
So folks, we're really looking forward to meeting you at the trading seminar. I mean, Phyllis, we're looking forward to have you on the panel, because I know you have a lot to share.
Yes.
Right?
I can cut this process in half for you.
There you go. If you don't want any heartache, well, I'm not saying that you don't have any heartache, because there will be some.
There will be some.
Right? We're not going to lie to you, folks. There will be some. But if you want it that bad enough, Phyllis here could actually help you from getting stuck to the next threshold, and maybe, can give some ideas.
Exactly.
Right? So tell me a little bit about, I think, the marketing and management process of, Mariah's Relish. Has it been a journey for you to, from the conception of the product?
Yes.
Because I know you have it on shelves. I mean, what did it take for you to, jump from idea to shelf?
Perseverance, hard work, tears, sweat. It took the entire gamut to get there, because if you have something and you're passionate about it, doesn't mean it's going to be accepted by others as readily. So you have to be diligent. It was a lot of knocking on doors, passing out samples, attending events, just to get the product out there. And then to get it on a shelf, it takes another level of marketing, because that retailer will need to know if he can sell it in his store. Absolutely. Because sometimes the customer is not there to taste it.
There you go.
And so they need to make sure it can sell. It has to be at a good price for them. All in all, it's about the bottom line for both.
There you go. So folks, think about it. If you have a family recipe and you wanted to take it from idea to, the conception of the idea to shelf, this is a woman that could actually help you brainstorm and cut probably 6 to 12 months of your brainstorming and what you need to be doing next, because she's done it, and we all want to learn from people who have done it. So we're really excited to have her at our Courage to Elevate training seminar, because I know she's gonna bring us more relish jars too. And I know we're gonna have some jars at the training seminar. So folks, come on down, and we're gonna meet with Phyllis, and we're gonna talk to her. This is your opportunity for you to brainstorm with her. Talk to her personally. Maybe there's something that she missed talking in the panel, and you get a chance to meet her personally. Hey,
I'll be there to help you.
It's all about personal touch, folks, and building relationships. So thank you so much for joining us today, and I really can't wait for them, the audience, to try Mariah's Relish, chow relish, so that you can chow it down too, like I did. So folks, thank you, and we're looking forward to seeing you at the Courage to Elevate seminar on May 4th at the Hampton Inn in West Haven, Connecticut. And Phyllis Haynes of Mariah's Relish will also be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Zeph. It was a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.